AI is becoming a powerful tool, and today I wanted to put AI to the test. I wanted to put the age-old question to rest. Who is the greatest of all time in NASCAR? Some would say Jeff Gordon. Many will say Dale Sr. or Richard Petty. The newer generation might even say Jimmy Johnson. Well, this is the top 10 greatest NASCAR drivers of all time according to AI. That said, AI will officially list Kevin Harvick as the 10th greatest driver of all time. With 60 wins to his name, he has won all the crown jewel events, including a Daytona 500 victory, 3 Brickyard 400s, 2 Coca-Cola 600s, 2 Southern 500s, as well as including the 2018 NASCAR All-Star Race. Kevin Harvick is the 2014 NASCAR Cup Series champion. To add with that will be 2 Xfinity Series championships. I would say Kevin Harvick being top 10 is a great start to this video, although I would argue Kyle Busch maybe deserved that position, being up by 1 championship and a couple wins. I'll let you guys take that one to the comments section. Number 9 on the list is Darrell Waltrip. Darrell Waltrip is a 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Darrell has 84 Cup Series wins to his name. He also has won the 1989 Daytona 500, the Southern 500, and 5 times he has won the Coca-Cola 600. Darrell Waltrip dominated the 1980s and has the numbers to prove it. They called that man Jaws for a reason. He had a lot of big victories and a whole lot of wins. Number 8 on the list goes to Bobby Allison. Bobby helped build the sport of NASCAR. During his time, he won the 1983 championship. He has 85 career victories to his name, including 3 Daytona 500s, 3 Coca-Cola 600s, and 4 Southern 500s. Although he has a similar amount of wins to Darrell Waltrip, I feel like the deal breaker was the crown jewel events that he did win. The extra Daytona 500s came in clutch. Number 7 on the list, and this one may be a little controversial, but he's known as being one of the greatest drivers of all time, and that's Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart is a 3-time Cup Series champion. Tony has 49 career victories to his name. Although there's no Daytona 500s to his resume, he does have 2 Brickyard 400s as well as a 2009 All-Star Race. His stats may not compare to the greats of Darrell Waltrip or Bobby Allison, but the time period he was dominant in was one of the most competitive. I 100% agree, Tony Stewart deserves to be within the top 10 greatest of all time NASCAR drivers without a doubt. Moving to number 7 on the list, and that will be Cale Yarborough. Cale is probably the most underrated on this list. Not only he helped build the sport of NASCAR, he was the first driver to win 3 consecutive back-to-back championships. Cale won 83 Cup Series races, including 4 Daytona 500s, as well as 5 Southern 500s. A major stat that goes unnoticed is Cale only ran full-time for a total of 8 seasons in his career before going part-time to spend time with his family. Cale is an absolute GOAT. I think he belongs much higher on the list due to the years that he put in and the amount that he accomplished, and that guy won a lot of Daytona 500s. Number 5 on the list goes to David Pearson. David is 2nd on NASCAR's all-times wins list with 105 career victories to his name. On top of that, he has 3 NASCAR Cup Series championships. On top of that, he won the 1976 Daytona 500, 3 Southern 500s, and 3 Coca-Cola 600s. I believe David could be ranked a lot higher on this list. He brought a lot to the sport, winning in the early days with the Wood brothers. And let's be real, he was Richard Petty's only competition in the early days. Number 4 on the list goes to 4-time champion Jeff Gordon. Some will argue that he is the GOAT of all GOATs, with winning 4 championship titles, 93 Cup Series wins. He brought NASCAR mainstream while winning 3 Daytona 500s, 5 Brickyard 400s, 6 Southern 500s, 3 Coca-Cola 600s, as well as 3 NASCAR All-Star events. Jeff Gordon is truly in the GOAT category of NASCAR. Jeff was not only a dominant driver, he was very good at recognizing talent, bringing Jimmy Johnson up to the NASCAR Cup Series to drive that number 48 car. And that leads us to number 3. Jimmy Johnson is tied among Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt with a total of 7 championships apiece. Jimmy Johnson made history when he won 5 consecutive championships in a row, spanning from 2006 to 2010. With 83 wins to his name, Jimmy has won the Daytona 500 twice. 4 times he has won the Brickyard 400, as well as 4 times he has won the Coca-Cola 600. 2 times he has won the Southern 500, and on top of all that, 4 times he has won the All-Star Series event. These numbers are absolutely insane. Many fans will put him as an all-time great for that very reason. Jimmy did this in the most competitive era of NASCAR and was a threat to win every single weekend. If you were a fan during that time span, you hated seeing this guy win as much as he was, but you respected the talent that was on the table and what we were able to witness. Moving to number 2 on the list, many will disagree with this one, but AI has Dale Earnhardt Sr. ranked as the 2nd greatest of all time. Dale also has 7 championships to his name, and probably is the most well-known driver of all time. Dale has won the 1998 Daytona 500, the 1995 Brickyard 400, 3 Southern 500s, 3 Coca-Cola 600s, and 3 All-Star Race events. On top of all of that, he has 76 NASCAR Cup Series wins to his name. Undoubtedly, given a few more years, he would have made it past 80 victories, and would have brought more to the table in his stat book. Dale's career lasted from 1975 to 2001, and ranked number 1 on the list. Many of you may have guessed it, that would be Richard Petty. He's considered the king of NASCAR with 7 NASCAR Cup Series championships and 200 career wins. It's likely no other driver will ever reach that milestone. Richard Petty also has the most all-time Daytona 500 victories with 7. Among that, 2 Coca-Cola 600 wins and 1 Southern 500 win. That Petty Blue will forever be iconic to all NASCAR fans throughout time. Let me know if you agree with the list, if you disagree with the list, what you would change if you could. Remember, this is according to AI, not according to me, although I do agree with about 90% of it. With that said, I would like to thank all my Patreon Tier 1 and Tier 2 members for supporting the channel. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you guys for that support. If you want to join the Patreon, there is a link in the description. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.